I was like, who is this guy? Oh my God. And sure enough, a couple of months later, John gave me my first college summer job. He was still a freshman. We were both freshmen, but John had already become the head of the Mission Hill Summer Program. And he had already raised $40,000 to hire staff. He'd already gotten the city of Boston to give us some vacant apartments in the Mission Hill, public housing project, which was then, at the time, the largest open-air drug market in New England. And he had already recruited some 80 kids. And I have to be honest with you, it was weird to have someone my age be my boss, right? But we started the summer out, and John taught me so much about what it means to be a leader, what it means to be a boss. He taught me that being a boss is not about bossing people around, it's about empowering them. He taught me that being a leader of a program is not about getting the biggest slice of pizza. Sometimes you don't get the pizza, right? And he really, watching him lead that program, showed me that leadership was working long hours on problems you didn't create, without complaint, and a lot of times, let's be honest, without a thank you, right? And John did this all with patience, with a sense of humor, with a sense of humility, and he was real. He was a real person. And I'll never forget the experience I had working with him. So it doesn't surprise me, or any of us who work with him, that John went on to head PBH. He went on to co-found, at age 24, Roxbury Prep, which is one of the city's most excellent schools. School consistently outperforms affluent suburbs. Okay, so John created an institution that shows the achievement gap doesn't have to be there. It's not inevitable, and it can be conquered. It doesn't surprise us, the people who knew John, that he went on to become managing director of Uncommon Schools, managing some 24 charter schools in New York, New Jersey, and Boston. Nor did it surprise me at all to hear that John became the Senior Deputy Commissioner for Education in the state of New York. As Arnie Duncan last night mentioned, John is now responsible for some 7,000 schools that have some 3.1 million students. So I don't know why we in Massachusetts let them go to New York. Like, forget about this Red Sox, Yankees rivalry. Like, why did we let them go? Right? Anyway, we don't blame them. John is in fact a New Yorker. John's parents were both New York City public school educators. And John lost his parents as a child. And John did not have the stability that a lot of kids have, that kids need, really, to survive and to thrive. But his story has a silver lining for the rest of us, because it gave him the passion that he needed, that intensity and that focus that he needed to devote the rest of his life to creating game-changing institutions for children. Life-changing, game-changing institutions for children. And it should be said that John could not have done any of this without his amazing wife, Melissa. Let's give her a hand. Having said that, John, before he married Melissa, had another life partner. Eric Dawson cannot be here tonight. But he's celebrating his wedding anniversary to Tammy Ty, another Mission Hill former counselor and director of the summer program. But so Eric said some words. He said, Tammy and I are so sorry we couldn't be there in person to celebrate with you. The Mission Hill Summer Program was leaderless at the time John was tapped to take over the reins. He, in turn, asked me to join him. One of our first responsibilities was to sign up campers. So off we went, apartment by apartment, recruiting families. It frightens me to think about that side. 2-hour refreshment, door-to-door camp salesman. John with his caterpillar mustache, and me and my $2 thrift store cap. Ignorance is a wonderful enabler of the possibilities, of the possible, and ignorance was one thing we had in buckets. That and a deeply held commitment that the young people in Mission Hill deserve the absolute best and safest summer we can provide, as good as any camp in Brooklyn for me. A better future for our children will be built, not by Philo generals, but by those who pick up the mantle to serve, to start schools, to cajole lawmakers, to entirely ask why, and to take a stand. This is the kind of leader and friend and father and husband that John is. I can think of very, very few people who inspire me the way John does. John will continue to do incredible work in his life, but I will always ultimately appreciate the quality of his humanness, as known for a friendship baked in an airless apartment on Oregon Way. Now he had another life partner as well. Evan Lugo, who co-founded Roxbury Prep with him, and who's now CEO of Uncommon Schools. And Evan had this to say. Evan was also not here tonight. He said, "We're lucky to have John B. King Jr. doing the important work that too few dare to tackle. Despite a difficult childhood experiences, John found the strength in his teenage years to pursue a life that puts extraordinary intelligence, unwavering moral conviction, unmatched work ethic, and voice for books to great use. My wish is that he keeps himself and his family as happy and healthy as he wants the rest of the world to be." I wanted to also read a few words, if you can bear with me, from John's doppelganger, or rather the person who wanted to be like John, always until life. Scott McHugh, the founder of Boston Prep, says the following: "I'm really sorry I couldn't be here tonight. I spent a number of years trying to follow John King's footsteps. I went to work at the Mission Hill Summer Program because John recruited me. I then directed the Mission Hill Summer Program the year after John. I went to Columbia for a master's degree in teaching social studies the year after John earned it. I moved into his old apartment. This is where I was saying. I moved into his old apartment. I bought his desk and dresser from him. A few years after John founded Roxbury Prep, I founded Boston Prep. When John King left Roxbury Prep to pursue a law degree and a doctorate in education, I finally cried, "Uncle!" And as everybody knows, John's career continued to advance at a breathtaking rate. There's nobody more relentless than doing what's best for children. And while I haven't been able to match his strides, I can confidently say that many of the best decisions of my life have been made trying to keep pace with him. I feel so fortunate to have him as an inspiration. So, the last person I want to acknowledge, she won't stand up and say anything, is Leah Young, whose life has been impacted by John in two ways. Like many of us in this room, John gave her her first job as a junior counselor when I was a counselor, and now her son is in Roxbury Prep. So please join me in clapping for John, showing him the love that we feel for him, and all the impact he has had on thousands and thousands of people.